Here are 3 easy DIY wall art ideas you should try.
There are so many decor options out there online as well as in stores, but a lot of them are mass produced and are printed. They are printed pieces that don't really resonate with me. It's the same piece you see in everybody's house or you see online, and I like to be unique. Because of that, I think it's a great opportunity to try something new, get out of your comfort zone, and create your own personalized art. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you the first one. First one, I'm going to call it tape art. This first piece is super easy. Like, this is a no-brainer. All you need is painter's tape, acrylic paint or spray paint, and a canvas. You can do this.
I'm going to start off by adding water in 1 cup and then my black paint in another. I'm going to try to stretch the paint a little bit, so I'm going to thin it out by adding a little bit of water. Now I'm just going to stir it up, and it should not be a really thin consistency. It should still be thick, but just a little bit thinner. What I'm going to do is just coat the entire canvas in black paint. So if you are inspired and want to try this project, put on some good music and just have fun with it. Once I was done, I let it dry for an hour. Next, I took strips of painter's tape and placed them randomly on the canvas. You can create a number of shapes using the tape. The possibilities are endless. When I was doing this, I was just going with the flow and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I came up with this. When I first saw this, I had to give this name Broken Pieces. Now that I placed the tape on the canvas, I'm going to put a little bit of white paint in a container and do a top coat. I did add a little bit of water to this as well. If you do add too much water, you can always add paint back to it. Once I finished, I let it dry for about 30 minutes and then started removing the paint off of the canvas. I had no idea it was going to turn out like this, and I love the imperfections. To me, it was okay for the paint to seep a little bit under the painter's tape, so that might be something that happens to you, but don't worry, you can clean it up if you would like. I decided to leave it just the way it is. When I look at this painting, I noticed that it was connected. The wood pieces were connected at the bottom. I call it wood pieces because it has like jagged edges. So it was connected on the edges and then it broke apart, and it is like shattered in the middle. So this is why I called it Broken Pieces. Can you see it?
Okay, for this next one, it's a little bit more advanced, but not really. So if you think that one was easy, try this one. Let me show you this textured wall art idea.
With the spatula, let's scoop out a moderate amount of spackle and place it onto the canvas. Next, spread and smooth the spackle out across the canvas in different angles. You want to be quick about doing this because the spackle does dry quickly. To create more texture, I decided to use a 4x4 square knot spreader. Each side creates a variation in texture, and you can be as creative with this tool as you want. Once you have it just the way you like it, let it dry overnight. Now let's paint. Using my paintbrush, I'm going to spread some leftover sample paint that a friend gave me a while back. If you have some sample paint from a previous project, I encourage you to use that first before you go out and buy anything new. After putting 2 coats on there, I let it dry overnight. With all of that texture, it's easier to paint in the same direction. Take a look at the finished result. Would you like to see more textured wall art? If so, let me know in the comment section below.
The last idea I have is my favorite. I think it's such a fun project to try. I call it abstract fluid art.
First, I poured 1 ounce of acrylic paint into the measuring cup, then 3 ounces of Floetrol. Basically, I'm using a ratio 1 part acrylic paint to 3 parts of Floetrol. You can adjust how much paint you use based on the size of the canvas. Before I started painting, I taped the back edges of the canvas so that the paint won't drip there. Next, I poured lots of white paint over the entire canvas. This will allow the paint to flow really well on top. Then I took a couple of paint colors and poured them on the canvas to create a swirl. Next, I took an air can and sprayed air across the paint. This really helped to spread the paint out as well as blend the colors. I repeated the same process and decided to try the heat gun instead. If you have a blow dryer, that will work also. I did the same thing all across the canvas. Next, I tipped the canvas over to spread the paint a bit, and then I continued mixing the colors until I was happy with it. Watch me work. I also decided to add a little bit of Rust-Oleum silver metallic paint. I sprayed a little bit of it into a cup off camera. This is what it looks like in the cup. I took a stick and I dragged a couple of lines of it on the canvas. Then I blowed it out. Once I was finished, I let the paint dry for 2 days. Here's a close-up of it. Once it was dry, I sprayed a coat of Kmart varnish on it. This will help protect the paint. Then I added a coat of clear glaze to give it a high gloss finish. Afterwards, I removed the tape on the back and hung it on the wall. Here's how it turned out. Is this something you will try? If you do, you can always start with a small canvas.
I hope these ideas have inspired something in you. Please don't tell yourself you can't do it, you're not creative. All the things that we tell ourselves are why we shouldn't do it. If it resonates with you, try it, customize it with your own colors, and just see how it turns out. If you enjoyed the ideas that you saw today, please give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe to my channel to see more.